Before you begin, take 3 deep breaths and pause the video, and when you feel ready, pick the pile you chose. Are you ready for this pick a card reading? Once again, the theme is the part of yourself that you need to acknowledge today. We have pile number 1, 2, and 3. Before you begin, please close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths in and out until you feel ready. If you need to pause the video so you have a longer time to decide, feel free to do that. And when you're ready, choose the pile you feel drawn to from the heart intuitively, and we'll get into your reading. And once again, this is pile number 1, 2, and 3. Pause the video here if you want to do it this way. Otherwise, we'll be putting some crystals on. Alright, for those of you who like crystals, we have red jasper here, shungite here, and halite here. Now we're going to get into the reading. Let's start with pile number 1. Alright, pile number 1. You guys chose the red jasper pile. Red jasper is usually related to protection. In case you want to take a look at it. It's the red jasper crystal there. Alright. I decided to do Angel card for the overall theme of this pile. We have spontaneity for this deck. Alright. Interesting start so far. Fogged in. Go slow. Take time. Narrow pathway. Tread thoughtfully. Wondrous universe, walk in beauty. And breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. Okay, so the overall theme of these readings are a part of yourself that you need to acknowledge at this time. I see a lot of you guys are overworkers. You tend to burn out fast. Almost instantly, because you like to put a lot of extra effort into the work. You're someone who likes to explore and enjoy the wondrous, different, unique things in life and beauty, and the side of yourself that you don't show as often is the one that expresses how much you have a love for weird and unique things. I see that you guys are also, you're almost like overworkers. You're aiming, I also see that a part of you is aiming towards a specific goal, almost like you're trying to make a whole new you. These two sides of the cards here, we have a breakthrough, breaking trail, breakthrough is at hand, and then we have a narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully here, and I see this both as a wall here getting to this result, which is like the hidden treasure. Don't feel like you have to rush to get your results. I'm thinking of some of you who are trying their best to become a whole new you. You could be exercising and trying to make a whole new form. And you might feel a little discouraged, or like you're trying to work through it quickly and fast to get it over and done with so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Take your time. Take your time. It's better to go slow, steady, and right than quick, fast, and wrong. This way, if you take your time, you will get to your end goal and what you wish to accomplish. Even though your ambition is strong, let your confidence show that you have this as well. show more confidence in yourself and others as well, in case you're someone who likes to criticize others because you feel as though you're working really hard towards this one specific goal and you feel that others aren't working as hard as you. So show confidence in yourself and other people as well. Let's move on to your next card. We have passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Oh, I mentioned both of those, confidence and creativity. I'm sorry, I'm really excited. And then we have house 5. The 5 in numerology means change. Let's see, we also have house 11. Friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. And house 12. Spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. And we have the North Node, destined to have. So this confirms my reach, the reach to a goal. We have 5, 11, 12, and North. I see mountains in a couple of these. The mountains, some of you might like hiking. Maybe you're going to make a hiking group. Get together, be kind of, I see it more not necessarily as a hiking group in terms of just going for pure enjoyment. I see you incorporating some kind of group activity of hiking in terms of weight loss, exercising, or muscle building, some kind of physical enhancement of, for yourself and others. Let's see, like-minded groups, friends, humanitarian beliefs, social service, and healing. A lot of you are going to go into nature for healing purposes, such as just being in nature, feeling relaxed. I see some kind of festive like things such as feathers and music. Maybe you're gonna maybe you're gonna have like a sing-along and a campfire, just some kind of group together. Maybe this is a journey of all you guys getting together, camping and going out, just enjoying yourself in nature. So, some of you have not even done this before and you may feel a little nervous, but it's something you want to work towards. Maybe these are overcoming some fears and goals. Let's see what else we have. I see some of you are trying to aim towards doing this specifically to help rehabilitation, let's say patients, overcome things that they can't see past. So like this one specifically, this is a very specific message. Rehabilitation groups such as those who were struggling with drugs and they were struggling with depression as well, and they are having a hard time seeing past meaning of what life is, and you're determined to help these people overcome things. And so you're trying to invite them to go on more adventures, show them that life is more than just being there. It's being intertwined with others, with nature, with emotions, family, friends. It's everything together. Some of this may even be you as being part of that group who's trying to help you overcome this as well. All right, let's see what else. I always give you a good night kiss. It's beautiful where I am. I always give you a good night kiss. It is beautiful where I am. The earth is our school, and we will be together again. I feel like this message resonates with a lot of you. It definitely makes me think of those who are struggling with like loneliness and maybe some depression from losing a loved one, maybe a spouse, significant other, or even a sibling or a really close family member you felt very strong with. The nature is a big message for this group. The mountains, trees, the scenery, the sunsets. I'm specifically sunsets, not sunrises, are a message for some of you. It was your thing. You guys loved going on hikes together and enjoying this. This part with the earth is our school is teaching us how being one with nature, and we will be together again is a message you should acknowledge at this time. I definitely see a lot of sunshine in here, so I feel like some of you, maybe they called you their sunshine, or they sang the song, "You are my sunshine, you make me happy when clouds are gray, skies are gray," something like that. So I see that message here in this group too. And then let's see, on to new ones. We have overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Eye of the eagle rising above the fray. Stranger and curiosity. Winter's dream, gestation period. And whale song, resonating. This goes back to that group, the group thing I'm thinking of. Overwhelm and plenty. This makes me think of someone having stress. So you feel like there's like a lot of stress, but you're ready for change and something new. And this is the part of rising above the fray. I feel like you should go out of your comfort zone, join a group that you think you could learn and benefit from. Trust yourself and where you're being guided to, and just let go of control. I feel like I need to say that for some of you. We have gestation period and winter's dream, gestation period, and whale song resonating. You're going to notice that you'll start meeting like-minded people in the group with you. And you're going to feel more connected doing this than whatever you've done before. And that's the side of yourself you need to acknowledge, is to let go of control, go for it, take a leap of faith. I feel like some of you are, you're not necessarily shy, but you're like someone who likes your shell. You don't like to do anything different because you know you're safe where you are. Let that all go. Try something new. Experience something new. It'll be good for you. And this group, I specifically see this is like a group endeavor. Maybe you're going to join something outdoorsy, or maybe it's some kind of like not a gym membership, but something that makes you exercise at the same time. So it gives you a little bit of outdoors and a little bit of a exercise routine at the same time, which will improve your mood and your mind at the same time. The next part of this deck is going to be advice to you. Your hard work is paying off. Hey, that was in the beginning of your guys' pile. Look at that. Your hard work is paying off. Nothing will come of this situation. Makes me think if you ignore the messages, if you ignore or stop trying or not overcoming your process of feeling like you haven't gotten anywhere, those are negative thoughts that you don't need. Get rid of it. Do something else that makes you feel good. Take a spa day. Just take a walk. Go swimming. Do whatever it is that makes you relax, so you don't think about things in that negative mindset. You don't need it, because your hard work is paying off. And we have, oh wow, look at that. Look at that. It says it's time to release negativity. That's a confirmation card, guys. You gotta release it. Release it. He who looks compassionately upon the earth. Quiet compassion is sometimes the best course. This is a confirmation card for what I said earlier in this reading, was that you need to show confidence in yourself and other people. That shows compassion, and quiet compassion is sometimes the best course. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, or keep it to yourself. Or choose to switch your mindset. Why is someone doing this? Do you feel like they could do it better? And give it as advice, not as criticism. Replace greed by cultivating discrimination. That's what I just said. Another confirmation card. And then we have replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments, which relates to also comparing yourself to other people, such as those who are working on trying to change, let's say, their image, and they envy that how certain people look or how faster they get the results than you do. Keep going at it. Take your time. Do not focus on how fast other people are at receiving the same results, because everybody's different. So just like everyone has different medical problems, everyone has different body shapes and the way it forms. Keep that in mind. I hope this reading resonated with you guys. If you watch this on YouTube and you feel like it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't feel like it resonated, it was meant for somebody else. And I would love to hear your opinions and comments below. So please let me know if this resonated with you or not. I would love to know. And with that being said, we're going to move on to pile number 2. Alright, hi pile number 2. Once again, the theme of this reading is the part of yourself you should acknowledge at this time. You chose pile number 2. The crystal you chose is shungite. Shungite is one of the crystals that protect against electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs. It's good to have a lot of these if you're someone who has a lot of technology or things around your house. Putting it near your bed when you sleep helps protect you against those waves. It's very beneficial to have. It also has spiritual meanings, but unfortunately I'm still studying crystals, so I would have to look more into it at that time. So for now, we're just going to focus on the reading. Once again, you chose shungite in pile number 2. Alright, pile number 2. So the first card is an angel card. I chose this to be in each deck as the overall theme of your message today. Let's see what yours is. Healing. Oh, healing for a lot of you guys. I feel like a lot of you already are very deeply saddened and wounded, almost like broken hearts, like you had a major loss. I get the message that for some of you it was a very traumatic loss, and it's not easy for you to overcome right now. Part of the message to a part of yourself to acknowledge at this time is one message is it's okay to cry, is one of the things I need to say. It's okay to cry. And the other part of your message is, I'm okay. You do not need to stress, worry, or feel guilty about how I chose to do things. It's a very specific message. I'm sure it resonates with some of you more than others. And because healing is a very big word, there's some of you in this pile, there's going to be a random message for a small group of people for hidden parts of themselves that they haven't overcome yet. So there's going to be a mix of both of those in this pile here, those of you who chose pile number 2. And we're going to get into the first set of cards. We have grounding, go deep, explore your roots. This makes me, it might sound strange, but this makes me think of a baby. Kind of like how, those moments where you're nurturing a baby, like rocking them to sleep, or just sitting with them while they're resting. This makes me think of that at the moment. That's just something that's coming to mind. We have uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. Ascending the mountain and keep going forward. And reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. Okay, so there's a little bit of a mixed messages here. I feel like some of you, your loss could be related to a child. which makes sense for the traumatic loss, if that's the case. Gems. I see gems, hidden gems, or jewelry. I feel like this is a little different. I feel like this is saying that you're gonna have like little trinkets or random shiny things that are gonna appear out of nowhere, will be a sign for you from that person that you're thinking of at this time. All right, now what's another message? Some of you in this pile, the part of yourself that you need to acknowledge is to acknowledge your wounded self, your shadow self, the self that you don't like expressing or showing or really remembering. It could even be a part of yourself that you haven't given yourself chance or time or opportunity to heal yet. So it makes me think of things you feel guilty for, or things you feel like you could have done differently, things you should have not necessarily changed, but feel like you should have known. Kind of, it makes me feel like that a lot. And there's a lot of steps you folks need to take for those that are resonating with this right away. You need to start by going really deep. I'm going to say into your gut, like into your stomach, like things that really upset you and bother you. Not in terms of things that don't matter, such as like dirty dishes. Things that really bother you, like things such as when you're alone. Are there moments where you feel like you're just feel the need to cry to yourself because you're so upset? Start discovering what's upsetting you. Find the root of that. Find the root of it. So start probably by either journaling or even, meditating is not for everybody, but sit there and think, why do you feel this way? Why do you want to cry? What were you thinking of at that time? What makes you feel like this? And then kind of walk yourself through each step. Why do you feel this way? Where did it come from? How come you feel this way now when it was so long ago? And then also, when you do that, also say, okay, well, this was long ago. I do feel this way. Accept that you feel this way. Don't just ignore it and push it off and let it linger. Accept that you feel this way and discover reasons why, and then reasons what or things you can do to help you overcome that. So for example, let's say, I don't know, you punch someone in the face when you're really little and you've never forgotten it. You're very upset over it because they did something that you thought was mean, but you ended up being the meaner one because you punched them in the face. And you've always felt guilty about it. All right, let's use that as an example. You felt guilty because you feel like you were in the wrong. There's the reason. Okay. But you also feel like your feelings were validated because you felt like they put you in the wrong. There's another reason. But now that you're older, you're wise enough that you've learned from them that it's not okay to do either of those and to express your feelings openly at that time. And you'll notice that that's what it means. When you continue to work through your healing, you'll start feeling better. You'll start writing it out, and you'll start acknowledging these parts of yourself that you're not proud of, but you're working towards healing. And that's a big part of yourself that you need to acknowledge right now. Let's see, what else do I see? There's a theme going on in each reading so far. I've been seeing castles and trails. And honestly, I've been putting these cards in 4s, which stands for stability and foundation. So That's good for a lot of these messages thus far. I see anything else from the first set of cards. I see these lotus flowers. Lotus flowers are often represented of like transformation, and they bloom out of muck and mud, and they're beautiful. And you're kind of like that. You feel like one way, but you're slowly healing yourself and blooming into something beautiful. That's where your energy is going. Let's move on to the next card. We have Taurus, trust, patience, and sensuality. I see roses the most in this card for you guys. Spend time to smell the roses. House 9, spirituality, spiritual growth. I was just talking about how your growth and you're growing and changing. I mentioned the lotus flowers. Lotus actually means, it represents spirituality too, but I didn't mention that at the time because I didn't really feel like that was a message for you yet. But that's considered a spiritual growth. This is when you're learning and discovering and healing parts of yourself. That's also considered a spiritual growth. We have fire, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. Yeah, look at you. You guys are going in a whole new you. All right. And we have young, proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Grinding and covering treasure, ascending the mountains, and reaching your destination. So I feel like you guys are very much on a healing journey. According to these messages here that I see in these cards, I feel like some of you are experiencing or experimenting, I should say, with esoterics or psychic arts and spiritual arts. I see that some of you already feel very intuitively inclined, but even though that part of yourself is very acknowledged, you should keep in mind the moments where your emotions will affect how you perceive things. So please keep a non-biased opinion or an open mind without bias towards anything specifically when you see something, because the message could be very different than what you think it is at the time because you're upset. So please keep in mind that you must stay open-minded. Just take it as it comes. Take it as it comes. You will notice the signs. You'll notice how you intuitively feel and all those. You'll notice when your heart starts to feel like it's healing more because you feel more relief, and that you'll see the signs from what you're looking for. So don't look for it, just let it happen. There's a big difference there. Let it happen. You guys are very ambitious. I see you're someone who usually is very ambitious, and we've got roses and 2 candles here. I see that probably some of you are doing, it makes me think of a death anniversary, because flowers and candles make me think of that together, to be honest. That's what I see, lighting the candle for the passed on loved one, and flowers to represent remembrance. Maybe, and then, we have the sun, moon, and tree here. Maybe it's a date coming up soon, and you're trying to think of what you would like to do. I feel like some of you are talking from the heart to your passed on loved one, and they will be there when you're talking. So keep that in mind. Speak whatever you want, however you want, of course. I'm being told to know that your fire within is still burning brightly. It makes me think of like sparks. The sparks are still there. That's what I'm getting a message for. And then this is masculine energy. It's being proactive, going for it. Not necessarily a challenge, but jumping right into things is another thing. That's all yang energy. This makes me think you guys are gonna feel peaceful. You're gonna feel very peaceful and happy. Very positive. Let's move on to the next set of cards. Since this deck has a few different meanings, are mixed ones. This definitely is related to me, in my opinion, to passed on loved ones, spouse, family member, whatever it was that I said in the beginning, because I don't remember the list off the top, to be honest. This here will be messages from your passed on loved ones. I am not dead. They want you to know that. And I was just talking about how that person will be there when you're talking to them, because we're all energy, including those who've passed on, and they are not dead. They hear you, they visit you, they still love you just as much as they did when they were among the living, and they want you to remember and acknowledge that they're there. They've been there, I'm being told. They've been there, and you know it. You've actually felt their presence before, and you've also noticed some weird and little things. It could be something was suddenly moved into a spot and you didn't understand why it's there or what's going on with it. You can feel them when they're around, and I'm being told that you smell specific scents related to that person. It'd be very specific, very specific. All right, that's a message from this card for some of you guys. We are soulmates. That matches those with the passed on loved ones. And this isn't just for those who are significant others. This is also for those who feel like soulmates in friendships as well. My death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. Let it all go. They want you to remember them by the happy memories you've had together, even if the death was challenging for you. They felt ready to go. They felt ready to go, and they knew what was happening, and they came to peace with it. They came to peace with it. They're in a very happy place now, and they feel very excited and happy that they can communicate with you this way too. And they actually, I'm getting the image that they're around you a lot in your car or near your car for some reason. Like they travel with you, or they or maybe you talk to them the most when you're driving, because that's when you feel like you're alone and private and you can talk to them. But that was a very specific image I was getting. Some of you, it's related to a car. We are so connected, and I am here helping you. Look at that. Look at that. It says I'm here helping you, and that is beyond the truth. They are assisting you in the things you need when you ask for it. It may not be in the same conventional way you think it will be, because in the way they do help, it is very unconventional. Let's say you need money. They just suddenly somebody invited you to go out or like you just need money for some food, and then somebody invites you to go out to lunch. That's like the small ways they're helping you with that, is just putting little thoughts in some people's head, or they'll make you think about something before, or that you need to get done, and you're like, oh yeah, I needed to do this. Those are the ways they're helping you with this. You guys, this lot here is very intuitive. You know when what's going on. You know what's going on. But you've been healing because of the loss. You've been healing because of the loss. So even though you feel very intuitive, you feel a little, honestly, you remind me of myself when I was experimenting with this myself in the beginning. You feel, even though you're very intuitive with it, you feel frustrated because you want to communicate on a very deeper level that's easier for understanding. But if you keep open heart and an open mind, you'll get those messages you're looking for. What else we got? Falling angels, spiritual narcolepsy. Oh, look at that. That's kind of what I was saying. That's a confirmation card, guys. Fool's embrace, transmuting pain. Another confirmation card. Look at that. So you guys are, This group, the side of yourself you need to acknowledge is your intuitive side. You have it there. You also need to acknowledge that it's okay to mourn and cry and to go through the mourning process or the healing process for whatever it is you need to do, even if it's a loss of yourself. And then you guys need to venture forward, basically. In order to do that, you must go through the process. You have to go through the process. You can't move forward if you're stuck in the same spot. Let's see, what else we got? Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. Wow, we got a lot of confirmation cards so far. That's the intuitive side with you guys. You guys know what to do. You know how it works. And this is a moment in time for you guys. That's a moment for you to withdraw. You need to heal first. And then once you feel fully healed and acknowledge that you are ready to move forward, then you'll notice the changes that you're looking for and you're desiring. Not necessarily that you're obsessed with searching for, but the messages will come to you intuitively. And you know that. It'll manifest itself physically too, but in different ways. Beloved radical acceptance. Look at that. God. In the hand, the universe is your partner. I was just talking about manifestation and the physical. So that's pretty straightforward, guys. Like, we have spiritual narcolepsy, transmuting pain, confidence in your magic, radical acceptance, and the universe is your partner. Like, that's a good message overall, and it also is like confirmation of a lot of the things I just said for this group. Hopefully a lot of this resonates with you guys. The next few cards I'm gonna play are like advice for this pile. So yeah, hopefully this resonates with hopefully the theme, the part of yourself that you need to acknowledge at this time, and hopefully resonates with you as well. Let's move on to our advice cards. This deck actually got more cards than the other two decks, so there's a big message for you guys. It's time to give rather than take. Surrender to the divine. Balance spirituality and practicality. So that you guys so far, like that advice I was giving you before, like this is your time to go within and kind of like let yourself heal, let yourself mourn, let yourself do whatever it is you need to do first. And surrender to that, which is surrendering to the divine as well. Like, you need this. You need to do this right now. And it says a time to give rather than take. And that this card in this pile specifically, it's not necessarily you giving or taking. It's you getting into the energy where the universe will give to you instead of you taking more from it. It's hard for me to explain it. So like, you going in and like actually spending the time to heal yourself is your job. And then once you do that, the universe's job will give you what you need and you've been looking for and searching for. And that way it's equal exchange between both of you, because you did the work that you needed to do to get the results you're looking for. And that's what that is saying to me right now. Surrender to the, so time to give rather than take. Surrender to the divine. Balance spirituality and practicality. Be bold and make the first move. Oh, here's some new messages for some of you guys. Oops. Be bold and make the first move. You and your loved ones are safe. And show the world the real you. Okay, so now I'm having another message for this group. This is the small message that I mentioned in the beginning that is for somebody. It wasn't going to be very big, and I knew that in the beginning, and I did mention it. Some of you, it's still related to your intuitive side. Some of you are very in tune with it, and some of you are practicing more in the esoterics, which I did mention at one point. And This message is for you guys. Be bold and make the first move. You and your loved ones are safe, and show the world the real you. So this message, the part of you that you need to acknowledge at this time is that this is the real you. Like, this is who you are. You've never expressed this to anyone before. It's like a hidden treasure, like this uncovering treasure card up here. It's a hidden treasure that you haven't expressed or shown to anybody yet, but you yourself know this is who you are as an individual. It's what you feel comfortable with, it's what you know, and the time is now to express it and tell your story to those who need it, who want it, who would like to hear it. This time is for you. Green tea, compassion with action yields results. Confront the things that scare you most, and the path of intellect can yield a long life. So this is interesting, guys. This was the advice to you. Compassion with action yields results. Confront the things that scare you most, and the path of intellect can yield a long life. So make sure you keep an open heart and an open mind. Make sure you challenge your fears. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be scared. What you should do is learn what you can do to acknowledge those fears. What can you do to change it so it's not as scary as it was? Are you afraid of confrontation? Well, one of the ways to help get over confrontation is to bring up what you're upset about openly in a time that you feel comfortable and you feel ready to say it. That's a way of confrontation. Are you afraid of heights? A small way to help could be climbing a very small hill. That's a way to overcome your fear, and it's not as scary as you thought it was. Do whatever you need to do to overcome those fears. Some of you, with the message from the small message I just mentioned, you're afraid that you'll be judged negatively from expressing and opening yourself up to those you love dearly and your friends. You feel like they're gonna change their view of you and think you're let's say a fake or a weirdo. Like you're worried and afraid of things that sure are validated with your feelings of fear, but you can also know that if your friends and loved ones treat you differently because you finally decided to express this is who you are, then they weren't meant to be in your life, and you'll either make new friends or the ones who were truly loyal to you will stay throughout the whole thing. I'm getting the message that some of you are religious families and it might be more challenging to you and you think that it won't be easy. There will be those who accept you. Family should love you either way. And if you really need to, let's say if you do this with it, you can say that the beginning of these cards were actually angel cards. That's where they stemmed from, and you can start with that. And look into research to support your arguments and say the different things you've experienced and the stories you know and the things that happen, and just explain it all. Do it with the person you trust the most first, is the message I'm getting for you first. And then the path of intellect can yield a long life. Make sure you choose your decisions wisely. Don't just jump headfirst into things. It's okay to take a leap of faith, but make sure it's not foolish at the same time. Make sure it's something that you can either learn from or something that you can develop or aim for new goals with. Don't just jump into something because everyone else is doing it. That is not the path of intellect or logic or long life. Do what feels best to you, which you feel was the best decision to make. And that's the advice for you guys. I hope this resonated for a good portion of you. It was a little scattered a little bit, I admit that. Hopefully it resonated with some, and if you did, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you give it a thumbs up. This is my first official reading, and I'm excited that this message came to. This pile is like my resonating pile with some of you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If anything didn't resonate with you, it was meant for somebody else, so please pass on by. And with that being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Hi, pile number 3. This is your pile. You guys chose the Howlite crystal. You want to take a look? Howlite is, I have to look more into it because I'm still studying crystals. The Howlite, if I remember right, is one of the crystals based in intuition and dreams and not sure about instincts, maybe some instincts too. I have to look more into it, but if you want to research on your own, feel free to do so. But this was the crystal in your guys' pile. And with that being said, we're going to get into your pile. Pile number 3. So just with all the other decks, we have an angel card here. This is like the overall theme of your reading from this pile. Once again, the theme of this reading, or the readings, is the side of yourself you need to acknowledge at this time. And let's see what your overall theme is for now. Strength. Alright guys, strength is your theme today. This makes me think of a very strong tree that's grown into a strong person. Off this card alone, I feel like you guys gone through hardships a lot, maybe even still, and even with those hardships, you've overcome so much, and you are a good role model and representative, or even a good Samaritan to others, is the message I get immediately from the Strength card. Let's see, we have protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. Oh, look at that. So this still makes me think of the hardships you guys have gone through, but you've overcome a lot of these hardships, and this is confirmation of that message I was getting off of this Strength card. They've been helping you overcome. They know that it's a struggle. Some of you, I'm getting the message, it's like a karma. It's karma from either your past or your past lives, and that's why you've gotten through some of that. A good portion of it's already been overcome. Joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. Okay, yep, so I'm saying a good portion of that's already been overcome. So this is a time where you guys can start having some fun, basically, and enjoying yourself, feeling at peace with yourself. And the side of yourself you need to acknowledge is the one that is open and relaxed and content with being who you are. First light, beginning a new cycle. Alright. And we have distant thunder, clear the air. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. So this half of the deck tells me this is your moment to feel at peace. This is going to be in your sometime in your future, not necessarily near future, but you're going to be challenged. Again, of course. Is it going to be a hardship? Depends on your definition of hardship, but I get the answer of no. It's going to be just a challenge, and you're going to need to think of ways to overcome it, or work with it. Basically, it's going to be something different for you, and I feel like a good portion of you guys are those who don't like change, probably because of a lot of stuff that you've overcome. You're not someone who likes things that suddenly change at all, or you're someone who feels frustrated when someone changes your plans, that kind of thing. I'm like that, I understand that. And you're gonna notice that whoever you're with could be someone, let's say, who challenges your personality. Let's say that. Challenges your personality. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's something you both will learn from. So that could be something. That's probably why it's not necessarily a hardship, but it's something you need to work with or work through, is the message I get for some of you in this deck here. Uranus, radically change. I was just talking about change for you guys, so that's a confirmation card. You guys don't necessarily like change, but change is going to happen. It's going to happen either way. So sure, you can accept change, but some of you don't want to accept change because you don't know what it is yet. You're like, well, what is the change? Why do I need to accept it now? What if it's a change I don't like? You don't have to do that at this time. We have hurt and heal. Okay, so this makes me think of the clear the air, and two different personalities and challenging. Maybe some of you are bickering, or there's just something that is different. So part of this message that I see for some of you guys, you're being challenged by differences. You guys have differences. So like it's hard for you because your perspective is different from the other person's perspective, and you need to kind of challenge yourself to put yourself in their shoes to understand them better, and same vice versa. Like, it's a partnership. It's not one-sided. It must go both ways. So we have radical change, hurt, and heal. So maybe some of you said some hurtful things, whether to yourself or others. And it's time to step up your game. Like, don't put blame on anybody, but kind of bring the topic up. Bring what's the problem is up. If you're like me, you like having time to yourself and to be left alone until you can figure out your thoughts. If you're like my friend, you like to get to the source of the problem, then there until it's solved, which are two very opposite personalities, but it's not a problem. We have Sagittarius, optimism, exploration, and freedom. And we have Jupiter, grow and expand. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Fire sign is also related to ambition. Lots of ambition in each pile so far. Optimism, exploration, and freedom, and grow and expand. I'm getting the message that you're seeing things in new light. You guys are growing in maturity. Like, you are stepping into not necessarily the adult version of you, but the more mature version of you. And you're starting to understand that this is going to give you more freedom. It's going to give you more opportunities, options, and Sagittarius is also the sign of traveling. I see some of you are going to feel like you're going to travel, and you're going to expand your horizons. I feel like a good portion of you, part of your career or dream choice is related to traveling. That's part of your purpose. That's a side of yourself you should acknowledge. You are someone who likes to travel, and part of your purpose involves traveling. This deck that I'm playing next, or this set of cards, is usually related to past and loved ones, giving you a message. I wasn't going to play this, but I felt the need to play it for these decks. So if there's a past and loved one you're thinking of at this time, these are messages from them to you. I have a new understanding. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. I have become one of your guides, and remember me by the happy memories we created. These two cards make me think they are definitely with you in times when you're having hardship, or if you're having emotional challenges, or even mental challenges at the time. But you are learning new parts about you, your environment, and the way where you want to go, how you want to feel. You're learning these things about yourself, and your passed on loved one learned the same thing when they crossed over. And these were the messages to you. I have a new understanding now. I wish I told you more often how much I love you. And I'm getting the message. They want you to know that okay, this is very specific. It's not meant to scare anybody, but they whisper it in your ear. I love you, or there's something I like to do, and I'll say something like, hey, guess what? And then they'll say, what? I love you, just in case you forgot, is something I would do. And that's what it reminds me of. It's like someone who would do the little things to remind you that they loved you. And they're doing that now. And even though they didn't say it often, they tried to show it in their own way when they were alive. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. I have become one of your guides. Remember me by the happy memories we created, because those memories are the memories when they come to visit you. And that's one of the ways you know that they're around, is because you're starting to remember them. And you have very specific memories that stand out to you more than others. Ooh, sorry, I'm getting a little cold, guys. The temperature's dropping now. Alright, so we're going to go on to the next pile. Let's see what else we got for this. Pile number 3 here. This message also goes with the protected by angels. And I have become one of your guides. I'm being told to say they're one of your guardian angels, or how you view as guardian angels. You know who this is. You know who this is, and who this is for. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next set of cards. We have Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. Okay. So there's a couple messages in this. First, because it's green and smoky, it makes me think of something that's smelly. I don't know if maybe you're someone who isn't very hygienic, but you should work on it. And then, I'm not gonna lie, these leaves up here make me think of weed. Weed can also be smelly, thinking about it now. I'm thinking of like the message, take a chill pill. I feel like you guys are like someone who knows what they like, what they go for, what they want, and you don't like the shift, the change, the challenge. You don't like any of that, and I get that. So this kind of fits in that category. Or you could also know someone who's like that, which makes it more challenging to you as well. The message goes both ways for this pile. We have Eye of the Needle, intentionality, repairing the veil, forgiveness, deep diver, diving into a task, and horned cactus, resourcefulness. Okay, so this is a little more random and specific at the same time. It makes me think of a bucket list. You guys have a bucket list that you want to accomplish. Excuse me. Which goes with intentionality. These are intentions that you wish to accomplish in your life. They're like your end goal, or goals you want to do eventually. Yes, that's. And then the forgiveness is also related to that challenge for this pile here. It makes me think of whoever you're discussing or with, or whoever, let's say your partner is, or a family member. They'll probably challenge you in your dreams, and think it's not like logical, but all of your dreams can be reached. You just have to work for it and work towards it. They can all be reached, every single one of them. Even if the other person doesn't think it's logical, you have faith and belief that you can do it, and that's what counts and matters. And remember that. You can acknowledge what they say, and then you could consider their feelings, and then you can work together with the other person and say that you want to do this for now. Like, these are the 3 main things you want to start, but eventually you do want to do all these things on your list. And maybe make the list so you have it. And if the other person ever wants to refer to it, if you're someone in a close relationship with another, they can refer back to it to see what it is you're interested in. Maybe they could go out of their comfort zone. Or if you're someone who knows someone who's like this and you're having a difficulty in understanding why they want to do this, just know it's part of their dreams. And acknowledge that you have dreams too. Like, there's something you've always wanted to do. What is it? And then bring that up with that person. Even if it's not as much or as many, you both will have dreams, and you can try to do these things together as a whole. And if there are some things you don't want to do, you don't have to. They can do that by themselves or with someone else. And that's okay. That's okay. So this group, the part of the side of yourself you need to acknowledge is to loosen up the control, to know that part of your soul desires to travel, to know that you have dreams and you wish to accomplish them, to know that you've overcome many obstacles and you've come a long way. There's basically acknowledge all the many sides of yourselves that you've been ignoring is the overall message of this pile so far. The next set of cards are advice cards. This is the Moonology deck I have, and we're going to play this next. Advice for pile number 3, those who've chosen this pile. Bring love into the situation, keeping an open heart, an open mind, and compassion into the situation. Putting yourself in the perspective of another person or the other person's shoes. That's all related to this card. Bring love into the situation. Meditate and contemplate. Okay, so this makes me think of like that side of yourself that feels challenged and stuff. Like, it makes me think of the 2 different personalities, the opposing personalities, and how one wants to like get away and spend time to think to themselves because they need the break, and the other one wants to get it set and done there. If you need that space, take it. Take that space, because you are more level-headed doing that. And even with the other personality, even if they're like that, just tell them directly that you need space first, and you'll talk about it when you're ready to come back, and then start talking about it. Just let them know, and then they'll accept that part of it. They should anyway. Some people obviously are different than that. It really depends on the individual. But that should be as simple and easy as possible. Don't let pride get in your way. I feel like the messages coming from this pile number 3 is working both ways for the individuals who chose this pile. Some of you are on the side of you want to solve the problem, and some of you are on the side where you want to avoid the problem. And that both those sides are usually related to pride, because you're both trying to get things you want done and being stubborn about it instead of being more compassionate and basically listening. Getting the moment to listen instead of taking control. That's part of that message there. What do you want to release? Okay, so I'm getting the message. What's holding you back? What's holding you back from doing whatever it is that you desire to do? And this doesn't necessarily mean blaming another person. Like I said in the beginning of this reading, it's not blaming another. It's something you need to release. What do you need to release? What do you need to let go of? burdening you deep down. We have faith in your dreams. I was talking about your guys' dreams. This is a confirmation card here, talking about dreams. Have faith in your dreams. You can do it. You can accomplish all of them, whatever you go for. And your commitment is being tested. Your commitment is being tested. Okay, so this is that additional challenge. Okay, your commitment's being tested. So keep yourself in check. We also have replace pride by knowing that separateness is an illusion. We got 2 pride cards here, so one of you needs to give. Sometimes love changes the course of a life. This is related to your commitments being tested. Have faith in your dreams, your compassion with the other person, your love for the other person. Even though it could be considered a difficult time or an argument at this time, you guys can overcome this. Cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. Being open-minded and open-hearted cultivates brings fearlessness. Because then you're no longer afraid to approach a subject or afraid to bring anything up or afraid to express your dreams. Giving creates a flow of health and love. Giving and receiving. It's equal exchange. You have to go both ways. Both sides need to be open to listening to each other. And words have great power. Use them for greater good. Another confirmation card. I mentioned you guys may have said something maybe hurtful. Some people think words are just words, and other people think words have very deep and sacred meanings. So choose your words wisely, because context can be changed by different people with different personalities and perspectives. So keep that in mind. I hope this reading resonated with you guys. If it's on YouTube, if it did resonate with you, please give it a thumbs up. If it didn't resonate with you, it's for somebody else. I hope you enjoyed this reading. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I'm glad you took the time to actually spend time and going for it. Resonates with you. If there's parts of it that doesn't resonate with you, it wasn't meant for you, it was meant for somebody else. And keep that in mind. That being said, see you guys next time. Bye.